Okay, hello everybody, this is Big Bang Crypto and welcome to the next level of the four-wave theory. In yesterday's video I answered the questions: are we in a bull market? What is Bitcoin's next move? When will Bitcoin start to rise again? So where's the entry point? And when will the altcoins start to pump? And I really recommend watching this video if you want to understand the four-wave theory. I think this is the only video out there that can really answer these questions, because everything I say is based on a detailed analysis of Bitcoin's past price movement. While most YouTubers are only guessing, we take a deeper look at Bitcoin's wave structure, and the recurring similarities will leave no doubt about Bitcoin's next movement. Today's video is about little summary of yesterday's video, next important similarities between the waves, and will Bitcoin move up to $14,000 or will it retest the $10,000 level again? And like I said, I found every information that is necessary to navigate perfectly through Bitcoin's future with the DeLorean by studying its history. So enter the DeLorean with me and let's get started. Now, this is something I've already shown in yesterday's video. So we are 1 year before the first halving, and as you can see, the first wave starts, and after reaching the highest point, Bitcoin fell into this channel for 21 days, tested the channel line 3 times and was then able to break the main trend line. And in the first step, Bitcoin made gains, and at the end we have a drop of 30%. This is the second wave before the first halving, and again the channel 3 times of testing the channel line, breaking the main trend line, starting with gains, and at the end we have a drop of 30%. This is the third wave, again channel 3 times of testing, breaking the main trend line, starting with gains, and at the end we have a drop of 50%. Well, at that time we don't see the 30% because this was a monster wave making 1,202% of gains. This is the fourth and the last wave of that first bull market, and again you can see the channel 3 times testing the channel line, breaking through the main trend line, and well, this was the beginning of the bear market. So we see Bitcoin falling, and at the end it falls down into this valley, and exactly 1 year before the second halving, Bitcoin is able to jump over the edge and start the first wave of the second bull market. Now, well, this is the first wave of the second bull market, and again we have the channel, we have 3 times testing the channel line, breaking the main trend line, and starting with nice gains, and at the end we have a drop of nearly 30%. So recurring similarities, as I told you. And what is important at that point is that the altcoins now start to play a bigger role, and this shows plays out when Bitcoin made the first gains after breaking the main trend line and start this consolidation and correction. And this is the time when you should have invested into the altcoins, because they start to pump extremely while Bitcoin is losing its dominance. And this is also something that we will see over and over again. This is the second wave, again channel 3 times testing. After the third time we broke the main trend line, started with nice gains, and at the end we have a drop of 30%, and the altcoins start to pump after the first gains that we made after breaking the main trend line, and we are seeing this correction, this little correction, consolidation, and well, this is the time when the altcoins start to pump. And what I want you to notice at that point, that we have 2 waves before the halving and 2 waves after the halving, and the 4th wave is the last wave of that bull market. Now, this is the second wave before the halving, and as you can see, this is the 3rd wave starting after the halving, and again channel 3 times testing, breaking main trend line, starting with gains, falling nearly 30%, and the altcoins start to pump at that moment when Bitcoin starts to show us some kind of correction and consolidation. And this is the fourth wave and the last wave of the last bull market that we have seen. And again, a channel 3 times testing, breaking the main trend line, and starting with nice gains and then falling down into this valley. So again, we have a valley, and exactly 1 year before the third halving that is coming next year, we see Bitcoin jumping over the edge. And this is, for me, the proof that we are now in a bull market, because a lot of people are spreading, we are in a bear market, be careful, Bitcoin will go down to $2,000 and something like that. Well, history is showing us that this is not what is going on right now. And that's why I'm absolutely sure we are in a bull market. And as I told you, we have recurring similarities, so there is no doubt for me that we are not in a bull market. Now, what is important? Well, comparing the first wave in 2012 and the first wave in 2015 will give us an idea of what we can expect of the first wave that we are in at the moment. And as you can see, we were 21 days inside of this channel, and here again 21 days inside of that channel, testing the channel line 3 times, testing 3 times, and then breaking out of that main trend line and starting with gains. And at some point we have this 30% of correction, and this is something that I think will play out again. And the point to invest into the altcoins will be when we see that consolidation starting. This will be the moment where I will invest into the altcoins. Now this is the actual wave, and as you can see, exactly 1 year before the third halving, again we see the first wave, and now Bitcoin fell into this channel and has now tested this channel line 2 times. So I'm waiting for the third time, because this will be the sign for me that Bitcoin will break this main trend line and start to make gains. Now there are 2 scenarios. We could see 40% of gains in the first step, or we could see 18% of gains in the first step. Well, I think this scenario is more likely, because the $13,500 level is the 61% Fibonacci retracement level, and as you have seen, this level was the point where Bitcoin started this huge correction. So I think that we will go up to this level again and then see the correction nearly to 20%. This is what I've been calculating after comparing the data that I've found in Bitcoin's history. And I think then that this is very likely, because then we will test the $11,500 level again, and this is a very strong support and resistance level. And this will be my first entry point, because, well, I think that Bitcoin will make a 36% of correction. There are a lot of people telling you that Bitcoin could make a 50% correction. Well, that is something that doesn't correlate with the data that I found in Bitcoin's history, because there are a lot of times where we make 100% of gains and see something around 42% of correction. And as I told you, I've been using this data to calculate how high the correction will be, and 36% is very likely to me. And when you look at where the point that we will reach, this will be somewhere around $8,750, and this is also a strong support and resistance level, and we've seen that also in the last bull market. So I think this is very likely. We could also see Bitcoin falling down to $8,500, because this is the 50% retracement level, and this is also very likely. This would mean we see something around 37 to 38% of correction, and this is still very likely. And as I told you, 21 days inside of the channel, this would mean, or this means that we break this main trend line at that point, and this will be somewhere around $11,200, $300. And well, this is the second entry point, so you could say, all right, I don't know if this really will play out after the third testing. I will wait till Bitcoin breaks this main trend line, shows confirmation, then I will get some Bitcoins. Yes, you can do this as well. This is still a good option, so this is your decision. Now, here comes the new part. This is the fourth wave in 2014, and what you can see, when Bitcoin is moving up to the highest point, Bitcoin moves inside of this channel. And then Bitcoin fell into this channel that I've already shown you, and what you can see is that there is also a falling wedge formation inside of that channel that Bitcoin is respecting, because as you can see, this is the upper line of that falling wedge. The blue lines are showing you the falling wedge, and Bitcoin is respecting this line because, as you can see, here it is: resistance, resistance, and support. And after that, Bitcoin is able to break out of the main trend line. Well, now look at that. This breaking of the upper line gets started after Bitcoin had the third testing of the channel line. Now, when we go to the first wave of 2015, we can see something exactly like that. So as you can see, we have a channel. Bitcoin is moving up inside of that channel. Then Bitcoin fell into this yellow channel, and it also respected the blue lines of the falling wedge. And after testing the channel line for the third time, Bitcoin broke out of that upper line of the falling wedge, moved to the channel line, and was able to break this main trend line. Now, if you want to see something like that again, well, in the fourth wave at the end of 2017, so of the last bull market, Bitcoin was moving up inside of that channel, and then Bitcoin fell into the channel I've showed you, and there is also this blue falling wedge. And as you can see, Bitcoin respects this upper line as resistance. After the third testing of the channel line, Bitcoin breaks through the upper line of the falling wedge, moves up to the channel line, then finds resistance at that channel line, and then breaks this main trend line and starts to show us this gains in the first step. So as you can see, recurring similarities. And so what does that mean for the wave that we are seeing right now? Well, this is the channel that Bitcoin had been moving inside, and now there is this yellow channel that is forming right now, and there is also this falling wedge, and this is a bullish pattern. And so I think that what is very likely is, as you can see, Bitcoin is respecting this upper line of this falling wedge, and Bitcoin will be Bitcoin will find resistance on this level, and then will come down to these zones that I've talked about, the $8,750 zone or $8,500, because as I told you, this is the 50% Fibonacci level, and this will be something that I expect of Bitcoin right now. And after that point, Bitcoin will break this upper line of the falling wedge, move to the main trend line, break this main trend line, and then we will see this movement or this movement. And if you want to know more about that, well, then you have to watch my previous video. And what I also want to show you is that Bitcoin really respects these lines, and as you can see, when these lines are very close or cross each other, Bitcoin finds a huge resistance. So as you can see right here, we see the blue line, the yellow line, and the white line very close to each other, and Bitcoin falls all the way down. And this is something that we can, for example, see at that point. So here the upper line of the falling wedge and the channel line of this rising channel, they cross each other, and Bitcoin sees a huge correction. So this is very important. So, or for example, in 2014, the fourth wave, here the lines cross and Bitcoin falls all the way down, huge resistance. So this is something that you have also to keep in mind, and well, watch out if something like that is forming. So this is very important. And now the question, will Bitcoin from this point on move up to $14,000? Well, I think that this is absolutely unlikely, because this would be a movement, or this is a movement that we have never seen in history of Bitcoin. So I don't think that this will happen. This would be the first time. And as I told you, the chart never lies. And what is so special for me is, no matter what is going on in the media or on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, Bitcoin always shows us recurring similarities. Bitcoin doesn't care what is going on outside. And well, the only thing that we can see is that Bitcoin's price is moving up. Well, this is something that also correlates with the halving process. So and the people are FOMOing in, and in the media right now, everybody's telling Bitcoin will go up to 100, 200, 300, $1 million. Well, this is the reason why people start to invest like crazy into Bitcoin, because, well, everybody wants to make profit. But at the end, we will see the same wave structure that we've seen in the last bull market and in the first bull market. As I told you, every bull market has 4 waves. The 4th wave is the last wave. So right now we talk about 9 waves beginning in by 2012, and every wave is showing us that we can expect the same things, the same price movements. And so this is what I'm focusing on. So like I told you, other YouTubers are guessing. They give you the question, well, will Bitcoin move up to 14,000, or will we see a correction to 8,000, things like that? And at the end of the video, you're sitting there thinking, all right, what now? Should I invest or wait or what? So what I'm telling you is 9 times in the last well, beginning by 2012, we are seeing recurring similarities over and over again. And there is not one example that Bitcoin made something else. This is the important fact. And that is what I am looking at when I ask myself, should I invest or not? So right now I don't invest, because I'm absolutely sure that Bitcoin will fall down to these levels. And this is the point, this is my entry point. And you know what? If I'm wrong, if Bitcoin now starts to move up and breaks this main trend line and shows me confirmation, well, no problem for me. Then I have my second entry point and I'm safe. This is my strategy. So at the end, I can't lose. I will make nice gains. No matter if I see the first scenario or the second scenario, it doesn't matter. I will make my gains, and I think this is the way everybody should play this game, because otherwise there is a high risk to really lose your money. And well, these are my thoughts. I want to share them with you, and I think this is the only strategy. Now you can go and look for patterns, say, all right here I'm seeing a head and shoulders reversal. Well, yes, this is something that is possible, but as you may know, these patterns only have well, not 100% of probability. So it is also likely that we see Bitcoin fall down. So Bitcoin will not break that neckline and start to move up. And I'm telling you this because history proved that this is a very, very unlikely behavior. All right, so this is what I think. I hope it is helpful. I thank everybody for the support, everybody for subscribing, writing comments. I really hope this channel will grow because there is so much bullshit out there going on, and people will lose their money. People will lose their money, and that is something that is scaring me. And I really hope I can help you. And I'm not one of those who just sit there and talk something. I prove everything I say, and I don't look at only one wave. I'm looking at every wave that Bitcoin has shown us. And that is the way I'm working. So you see a lot of YouTubers just making the Fibonacci retracement tool, telling you, all right, this is the 61% retracement level, so this will happen and that will happen. No, I'm telling you things because I've seen it many, many times, and this is the big difference at that point. Well, at the end, you make your own decision. I don't want to tell you this is it. This is your decision, but as I told you, this is my strategy. I want to share it with you. I hope it is helpful. Please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll keep you updated. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.